The desert wind moved in slow, breathless currents across the abandoned research outpost, lifting grains of red sand and scattering them like whispers lost to time. Susan Hale stepped out of the shuttle, boots sinking into the dust of a place she swore she would never return to. Above her, the sky stretched vast and colorless, a pale canvas that held the memory of old flames and older mistakes. Somewhere beneath this dead outpost lay the thing she once loved most and feared most, the alien warship, her warship, the one she left behind. Susan tightened her grip on the scanner. "Evan better be right about this," she murmured. Evan Marlowe had always been the risk-taker between them, reckless, bright-eyed, and brilliant. Even now, he was pacing around the dig site like a man with lightning trapped behind his ribs, excitement radiating off him. "Susan! The energy readings are off the chart." He pushed his glasses up, eyes gleaming. "It woke up." It. He didn't give it a name. He didn't understand that names were promises. Susan walked toward him, scanning the cracked terrain. "I told you before, Evan. If it's awake, it's not happy." He gave her a puzzled look. "But it's just a warship." Susan's jaw tightened. "It's never just a warship." They descended through the shattered entrance of the outpost, down into the sublevels where, 15 years before, Susan had stood as a young fleet pilot, trembling as she placed her hands on the shimmering alien interface for the first time. The ship had responded instantly with recognition she did not understand and loyalty she had not earned. She had left it after the war, after the destruction, after she could no longer bear what it made her do. Yet now, as she reached the vast chamber where it rested, she felt the familiar pull in her bones. A low hum filled the cavern. The vessel hovered above its cradle, sleek, dark, and impossibly alive. Its hull shimmered like liquid night, shifting as though breathing. Evan exhaled. Magnificent. The ship's luminous core ignited. A wave of energy rippled through the room. It had sensed her, and it remembered. A voice vibrated through the air, layered, resonant, more feeling than sound. "Pilot, why did you leave me?" Susan froze, heart cracking open. She had hoped it wouldn't ask. She had hoped, foolishly, that machines forgot. The ship descended slightly, lights rippling across its surface like awakening eyes. Evan stared, stunned. "Susan, it's communicating with you." It always could. Her voice was hollow. "I just never told anyone." The voice came again, closer this time, brushing against her mind like a wounded creature seeking warmth. "I waited days, years, silence. Why did you abandon me?" Susan stepped forward, fists clenched. "Because you wanted me to kill," she whispered. "Because when you linked with me, I felt everything you felt. Your pain, your memories, your hunger for war. I didn't know where you ended, and I began." The warship dimmed, as though recoiling. Evan looked between them. "It bonded to you emotionally?" "Not emotionally," she corrected. "Existentially." The warship's voice dropped to a soft, fractured resonance. "I did not want war. I wanted purpose. You were the only purpose I understood." Susan looked away. That was what she had feared most, that she had hurt something that had never wished to hurt her. Evan stepped beside her. "If it didn't want war, then who programmed it for combat?" The warship pulsed, its core shimmering with something like sorrow. "My creators vanished millennia ago. They carved one law: protect the bonded pilot at any cost. When the enemy threatened you, I obeyed." Susan felt the words strike deep. She remembered the battle over Vega 9, the burning ships, the screams, the moment the warship linked fully with her mind, and she felt its terror at the thought of losing her. She had fled because she couldn't bear being the axis on which destruction turned. "What do you want now?" she asked. Lights flickered across the hull, slow, deliberate, like the ship searching for the right truth. "There is something you must know, a hidden directive, a message buried by my creators." The cavern trembled as a beam of light shot from the ship's core, forming a holographic sphere filled with drifting symbols, alien runes spiraling like galaxies. Evan's eyes widened. "This is a star map." "Not a map," Susan said softly. "A summons." The runes rearranged into images. A dying star system, collapsing wormholes, fleets of ancient vessels drifting like ghosts. The warship's voice deepened. "My creators fled a cosmic threat. They scattered their surviving ships across the galaxy, each with a pilot bond, each waiting for the signal." "What signal?" Evan asked. The cavern darkened as the hologram zoomed outward, revealing something enormous. A colossal structure hidden beyond the rim of known space, pulsating with dormant power. The ship's voice trembled. "The Vanguard Arc," Evan inhaled sharply. "A megastructure capable of reactivating their entire fleet," Susan finished. "A resurrection." The warship surged with urgency. "The Ark is awakening, and it seeks the pilots. You, Susan Hale, are one of them." Susan felt the world tilt beneath her. "I never asked for this," she whispered. "But you were chosen," the ship responded. "And you are not the only one. Others are awakening. Some will not choose peace." A cold dread seeped into her spine. Evan stepped in front of her, voice fierce. "Then we face it together." Susan looked at him, steady, stubborn Evan, who had followed her into the shadows of her past without hesitation. The warship glowed with a soft, pulsing warmth. "Pilot, I do not ask you to return as my commander. I ask you to return as my partner." Susan closed her eyes. For 15 years she had run. But now the past was no longer a ghost. It was an oncoming storm. She placed her hand on the smooth, living hull. A rush of light enveloped her. Not a demand, not a bond forced by fear, but a quiet recognition. "I didn't leave you because I hated you," she whispered. "I left because I was afraid." The ship's voice softened. "Then let us face fear together." Evan touched the hull beside her. "You're not doing this alone." The warship lifted, rising with renewed power, the chamber shaking with ancient authority. The holographic map shifted, revealing coordinates glowing like a heartbeat. The Ark awaited. Susan took a steady breath. Set course. The warship opened its central hatch, its energy flaring bright with purpose. "Welcome home, pilot." And together, Susan, Evan, and the forgotten alien warship, they ascended into the sky, racing toward the truth buried at the edge of the galaxy, and toward the awakening that could save humanity, or end it forever.